don't want to do right now.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel like after a statement like this, to your point, some of the personal shots that have been taken on both sides here, that this is easily rehabbed. The other thing about this, Kevin, and Courtney's alluding to this,
yeah.
Okay, you draft really well. You develop this player.
Yeah.
He was already uber talented. Pay him early. Get it done. Why does this happen with the Cowboys?
Why does this happen with the Cowboys? That is a great question, Laura. When I think about the Eagles in that division, they have the best roster in football right now. Howie Roseman said it a couple weeks ago. They do three things. They draft, they develop, they sign. They do all of those things as quickly as they can, and that's the reason they're able to maximize their roster. That's the reason that they have four guys who are being paid as top-tier players who are making as much as the top two players on the Cowboys, because the Cowboys do not maximize their salary cap, okay? That is the way Jerry Jones does business. People say, oh, he's always done this. You know, that's worse, right? That makes it worse. And people say, okay, well, there's an element of professional wrestling. Well, sometimes professional wrestlers get hurt. That's what happens in these sort of scenarios. You get into a situation where you think we're playing the game, we're just trying to generate headlines. Well, guess who's not trying to play the game? Michael Parsons is trying to get paid. He is the type of player where if you lose him, you are looking to replace him for a decade or longer. 25% of the team's pressures last year were from Micah Parsons. By the way, he missed 4 games. That should not be happening. He is their defense. They have to improve in that regard, and they have to have him on the field. This is embarrassing. Every summer we go through something like this. Jerry Jones, I know this sounds crazy, but you got to change a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, Marcus, you know Jerry. I mean, does Jerry like doing this? I know he likes the attention maybe, but this to me is so mind-boggling that you wouldn't just find a way to pay your best player on the team. What do you think just from the personal side of it, right? Because I think that's a big factor here.
Boogie, therein lies the problem. I'm sick of saying it. This is Jerry. This is what he does. This is who he is. We get on this damn TV and we make excuses for dumb decision making, and we've been doing it year after year after year. I'm done with it. I don't need nobody to tell me to calm down. Micah gonna get paid. Don't worry about it. He gonna build it up all the way into the offseason. The problem is there are ramifications for that. It's not just about Micah getting paid. It's team chemistry. It's camaraderie. It's a locker room with their guy. One of the mantelpieces of what this football team is going to have success with if they get him in the locker room. And I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like this, man. And as much as it hurts me to say this, because I don't want to see Micah in another uniform. Somebody got to stand on business. One of these players got to stand on business and finally say, nah, I ain't gonna conduct business this way. You're not doing right by me. Like these other franchises that we looking at paying these guys and getting negotiations done and deals done. And one thing I want to reiterate before we leave, in that what Michael wrote, he called Jerry Jones a snake. I don't know if anybody interpreted it that way, but he said we had a meeting and he left as if we were negotiating a deal without talking to my agent. He said, you tried to snake me. He didn't say that verbatim, but that is what I contextualized when Jerry supposedly thought that they had a negotiation done or they started to negotiate. So if Micah is dug in, kudos to you, bro. I hate to see you go. I would love for you to be a Dallas Cowboy as long as possible because you're a phenomenal player. But at some point, Jerry and Steven is going to mess with the wrong one, and they're going to stand on business for real and not show up to play games. Now, Bunny is going to fix it, and eventually he'll break. Maybe that's the case. Maybe Micah Parsons is doing this for a negotiating tactic. But if he's not, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm in Dallas. These fans acted a fool with the Dallas Mavericks when Luka Doncic was let go because they thought that was the face of their franchise. This is an inflection point for the Dallas Cowboys, their business practices, and how they've been doing things. If this young man decides, I'm going to be that one player that don't just go with the regular rigmarole and accept the contract and go back and play with the Cowboys, I'm going to request a trade and stand on it until they make a move to move me out of the way.
Just because you pay someone's salary doesn't mean you get to treat people like commodities. And I feel like that's the lesson we have learned time and time and time again from the way the Dallas Cowboys do business. And Think about what Jerry Jones just did this offseason. Brand new coaching staff. What is this doing to Brian Schottenheimer? What is this doing to Matt Eberflus? Matt Eberflus has said, Mike is a premier pass rusher. We're going to use him that way. Not going to use him if you don't have him this year. And it's only fracturing what could have been and what should be a training camp where you're focused and moving past injuries, moving past the 7-10 season from a year ago. Why do you try to muddy the waters with more drama when it could have been prevented?
It makes it so difficult for everyone. And yeah, you're right. These players are not putting up with being treated this way. All right, Adam, final word. Where does this go next? What's your prediction?
Well, let me just say that, again, we've seen the Cowboys do this, Laura. They did it with the face of their franchise, the quarterback, Dak Prescott. They franchise tagged him twice. He was the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee and winner. They made him wait. So if they do it for the quarterback, of course, they could do it for the great young defensive player. But right now, we've got a number of outstanding trade requests. And as tantalizing as it is for everybody to talk about, this has been what Jerry Jones has enjoyed in previous offseasons. He doesn't mind waiting. He doesn't mind the drama. He doesn't mind the headlines. He doesn't mind that ultimately it costs him more money in the end. Ultimately, in the end, he gets it done. And Big Swaggo, you brought up Myles Garrett. Could anybody have taken a stronger stand against his franchise only to have it flip a couple of months later to sign a deal that made him the highest paid non-quarterback in football? Do you think Jerry Jones is going to want to trade Micah Parsons? No. I've got teams across the league, fans from them texting me, are we going to get Micah Parsons? Are we going to get... Jerry Jones, I would think, is not open to trading Micah Parsons right now. That doesn't mean that later this summer he couldn't revisit it, but I would imagine Jerry Jones still wants to try to win a Super Bowl. Micah Parsons is going to give him the best chance to win a Super Bowl. And we've seen any number of players come out, take strong stands against their franchises, from Deebo Samuel to T. Higgins to Brandon Ayuk to Myles Garrett. Not to say that the trade can't get done, but usually, more often than not, it doesn't.
Okay, quick, Marcus.
Boogie.
Yeah?
Boogie, Shefty, you're absolutely right. But guess what, Shefty? Go back to 2024, you was on here saying the same thing. Go back to 2023, you was on here saying the same thing. And the point is that it affects the team. That's all I want people to understand.
Well, yes,
you get paid, you get your money. This is what Jerry does. It affects the team when they play football. And that is the frustration with these fans.
Well, I'm not going to argue that. I mean, it's been in the results. We've seen what Dallas has done the last couple of seasons, right?
Right, and that's not what Cowboys fans, and I would assume Jerry Jones wants to see happen anyway. All right, we're going to be on this all show long.
I just wish I knew how passionate about
I
that.
know. Well, he wasn't going to lose it, but then he did, and we're really glad that he did. We're just getting started on NFL Live. I know, it does. It makes us all left tackle, and Josh Simmons, the Chiefs' first-round pick this year out of Ohio State, incredibly talented. Maybe the injury is what allowed him to not be drafted earlier, but he seems healthy. Former tackle Kingsley Suamatea will move over to left guard, and the other three positions remain unchanged for last year, but should be improved, right? So we welcome in our Chiefs reporter, Nate Taylor. Nate, what sticks out to you about the Chiefs' revamped offensive line so far throughout camp?
Well, what sticks out to me right now, Laura, is that the Chiefs have an optimum situation as we are taking this right now, about 2 weeks through training camp. Now, Joshua Simmons, the talented rookie from Ohio State, was projected to be maybe the top offensive tackle to be taken in the draft had he not been injured. Well, he's rehabbed every single day since the moment the Chiefs took him with the 32nd pick. And I even asked him today in his first interview with reporters at training camp, how often are you rehabbing? And it's days off. It's maybe even twice a day. The Chiefs have loved what he has shown so far in terms of his durability, his strength, and even on the hottest day of training camp on Tuesday, we're talking over 100 degrees, Josh Simmons performed very well against veteran pass rushers such as George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, and Charles Omenihu. So for right now, Josh Simmons is the projected starter at left tackle. He will be the new blindside protector for Patrick Mahomes, with Kingsley Suamatea to be on track to be the left guard. And even though they signed Jalen Moore in the